That's the type of world we live in, baby. It's not the sparkly stuff that you go online and tweet. The actors keep on lying, the brain dead bastards keep their social distance. I try to shout it from the rooftops, but no one ever seems to want to listen. Another time, another place, another space away from it. These people drive me mad. I wish they would another time, another place, another space away from it. These people are insane. We still they use their brain. And something else while we are.
Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Gobster's Parlay number 4. And I hope you are all doing wonderful well and everything's fine and everything's standing with you. And if it's not, I'll add you into my prayers later on tonight. So, as the title said, we've got a lot to talk about tonight, a lot of things to have a social chit chat about, and hopefully we can cover everything that needs to be covered today. So before we get started, obviously you'll now see the new logo, my new sort of logo for my social media channels in the corner here. I'm joined down there by the hate monster that is the Gobster. And I've had a few messages, especially from one of them from my good friend Daniel, who lives up in Scotland and is seriously concerned about the oncoming hate speech laws that will be in force in the 1st of April up in Scotland. Covered it in the last stream and I'll keep mentioning it. Also had the slight worry of the fact that technically this stream and some of the things that I discuss on this stream and all the other things I've mentioned technically would have breached the hate laws in Scotland. And there's an interesting question that I need to be answered, if it's all possible, is what I say here online down here in England, does that mean I've broken their law there? Or is it only when I'm in Scotland? And does it mean that if I leave here and go to Scotland, I might potentially have a warrant for my arrest issued because Hamas useless decides that the man who's in charge of Scotland, who's literally full of hate and he's the biggest racist known to man. If you don't believe that, you can literally just hear the speech he did when he was just moaning about everything, about everybody's white. Does that mean that I've committed a hate crime in Scotland? And how does that work for arrests and such things? Because it's just, let's be honest, a complete attack on the ability to have any sort of speech whatsoever. No speech at all is allowed in Scotland. You can only say things that Hamas useless dictates you can say. Because, of course, the biggest question of all with most things is what is hate? And who defines hate? Who says what's hate and what isn't hate? Because it's a very suggestive and conductive thing, isn't it? What I find as hateful, which is not much, to be fair, but what I find as hateful is not what other people find as hateful, etc., etc. So, going to keep every time we get the chance to mention the new Scottish hate laws, especially when they come in force. And it is an interesting question that I'd like answered. And if anyone could answer it, it'd be much appreciated, which is, am I breaking the law in Scotland? And does that apply that they can set an arrest warrant for myself and anyone else who speaks out of turn? Because hate crime is basically going to be a definition of people who speak out and raise issues about things. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure somebody eventually will answer that. Right then. So, been a fair bit of breaking news today, and we will start with, of course, yeah. To be fair and to be honest, no matter what, and we were talking about Kate Middleton or Princess Kate, and where she was, etc. And how I said, personally, I don't care, and I just think it's ridiculous. Um, Obviously, we can't ignore the fact that she is alive and well, but unfortunately, they have discovered that she has cancer as well, and therefore you do care about it because it's a crap, it's a shit. To Hello Sheila, welcome on board. Nice to see you too, in a wordy, typey kind of way. But no, it's sad that she has cancer. That's now two members of the royal family who have cancer. Um, I do believe that the mentioned data breach at the hospital, the clinic that she was treated, has forced this issue to come out. Obviously, um, they were trying to keep it private for obviously. Good evening, JWC. Hello, John. How are you doing, mate? Nice to see you on board. So yeah, I think the data breach forced this to come out to be mentioned, because clearly they were trying to keep it private. I shall sit by and wait patiently for all the apology videos and the apology tweets from everybody who bought into the bullshit that was presented, to all the media organizations who jumped on this and tried to push this narrative too. I hope that you are proud of yourselves, that you do issue immediate apologies and hang your heads in shame. I couldn't buy into the fact that something had happened, and I did mention it in the previous stream, which was in the last parlay actually, that Kate had disappeared and there was anything other than surgery recovery. So I feel sorry for William. Imagine your dad and your wife having cancer at the same time. Poor bastard. It must be awful. John, I cannot imagine the hell that man is going through. I can't imagine the hell that the family, his immediate family are going through. They were trying to protect the children, understandably. Um, I do really, really feel sorry for them. But people should be apologising. I did see Narinder Kaur, who I should be mentioning a bit earlier, well, a bit later, shall I say, um, getting on about all terrible news. But she was one of the archetypal people who were just going on this stupid, pathetic dog pile. And I hope that they all apologise profusely, but it's too late. So-called journalists should know better, should they not? To be fair, this is a terrible thing. It's sad. Um, I wish that both Her Highness and the King himself, His Highness, a speedy recovery. Cancer is a vile, disgusting, and horrible disease that takes far too many. I mean, there are reasons and things I could say to go down that line, but I'm not. I'm going to leave it at that because it is very, very sad that she's currently suffering from cancer. Amazing how both of them went in for routine operations and then cancer was discovered. Seems to be a big, huge Williams load. It's truly heavy. It is. It must be really. I hope he's okay because I know it's his wife's suffering, but it's going to be such a huge mental strain on William, and it's a shame that his brother's such a dick because he could really do with his brother right now to stand shoulder to shoulder with him. But of course, why would he? Because this would just make his next book now, wouldn't it? It is sad. So now, big broadcast to all the idiots out there. Now you know what's wrong. Now you know she's still alive. How about you all just sit down and shut the fuck up about it now and leave them alone? Okay? There's no need. There was no need for this in the first place. She'd gone for an operation. She was recovering. There was no need for us any of this ridiculous bullshit that came out. These people, all the photos have been manipulated. This and the other. The reason her photo was manipulated was probably because she may have just had bout of chemotherapy. But no, of course, you just carry on with your sick, pathetic rantings and ravings, jumping on the nearest thing to get likes and clicks, making videos and posting things on Twitter or X just for fun. It's always the ones who love the sufferers who really suffer. Indeed, it is. Um, my dad, when I was 15, sadly got cancer and passed away. And it does really weigh heavy on you. It really, really does. So I do feel for them. I understand what William is going through, although I can't imagine what it could be with two people he loves dearly having it at the same time. It must be horrendous. So I send my channel, and I presume my father was as well. The hope that you both get well soon. They'll both be my prayers tonight. And yeah, so now you know, and everybody's aware. So can everybody now who's just got nothing better to do with their sad little lives, can we just jog on and get rid of it basically? Because it's just right. You don't need to listen. I'm not playing the speech, A, because I'm not sure if you can hear it, but B, there's no need to. Absolutely no need to. Now, the other thing that's been breaking news, and again, I'm not going to play the video. I'm not going to play audio at all for this either. Thank you, Sheila. It's fine. It was a long time ago, and it was what it was, and it is fine. Thank you, though. Thank you very much for your concern. Very nice of you to say that. So the other thing we're going to share and talk about now is the current ongoing situation in Moscow, where armed people wearing combat uniforms and jackets and carrying AK-47s have broken into a music concert in Moscow city centre and have opened fire into the crowd. So far, the death toll, as far as I know at the moment, is 40, with over 100 injured. The building's on fire. They have caught one of them. Um, and I won't play the video because the video here actually shows them actually shooting at people, and I'm not prepared. I'm not prepared to broadcast that, so I'm just going to leave it on here. There is plenty of things. Now, the interesting thing is, this morning in Moscow, the U.S. embassy issued a security alert. So the Americans knew something was going to come up, which is a bit of an interesting worry, to be fair. Um, because if they knew, how did they know? Now, a lot of people are drawing parallels to the Call of Duty game where people break into the airport and shoot people in the airport and blame the Americans. As you can see, the building is on fire at the moment. There are plenty of other videos that I'm not gonna play. I'm not gonna let them play because it's not worth. It's not worth. I'm not gonna do it. The special forces have turned up. The building's on fire. There's more and more clips. I'm not gonna play all of those because they're very much into it's an ongoing incident, and I'm not prepared to do anything there. If you could just hang on a second, I just need to quickly speak to my son. Hold on a minute. Yeah, sorry about that. So needed to ask me something. So there is a current ongoing situation in Moscow at the moment. Yeah, the Moscow situation is still fluid, but it's horrific. A tragedy very similar to the Bataclan attack in Paris, where 93 people were killed. Yes, John. Which is why, although I've mentioned it, I'm not going to go too in depth in it. At the moment, it's too fluid. Too much is going on. Not a lot is very, very clear. So I'm going to keep an eye on it, maybe mention it in the next parlay. But we'll leave it as in it's ongoing. It's a terrible thing. No one deserves to get shot at a concert. The problem we have is with it is the fact that already the Russians are blaming the Ukrainians. The Ukrainians are saying it's nothing to do with this. Is it a is it a false flag operation? Are we trying to deliberately walk ourselves into World War III, which we've discussed before, and we've had a chat before that the West seems to be hell bent on driving us into a new world war. Is this another way of trying to push us down that road again, which is a worry? Um, Given the current political climate, it seems the Yanks didn't share their intelligence with Russia, result murder of innocents. And that is what Russia, yes, you're right, John. And that is what Russia are going to immediately point their finger at. Well, hold on a minute. How come you Americans knew, but you didn't tell us? Or did you orchestrate this? You can already see the sequence of blame and how they can engineer this. And this can be engineered for whatever they want to get, which is absolutely outrageous, to be fair. It's unbelievable. Again, prayers to those who've been killed and those who've been injured. Um, it's amazing when you find your faith how that can, I know some people go, "Oh, thoughts and prayers mean nothing." Well, it does if you include the people into your prayers who've had their lives taken away again just for the pushing of some horrible agenda that is just unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. It's just, it's just terrible. It absolutely is terrible. I just, I just don't know anymore. That this world seems to be hell bent on self-destructing itself. We're being pushed into a situation which is never going to end up well. Isn't going to end well at all. And perhaps Satan is having his moments. Perhaps seals are about to be broken on certain doors. Yeah, worrying times, and it'll be interesting to see over the next couple of days, or even the next couple of hours, how this is going to play out. It's worrying. It's very worrying. Um, I'm concerned that it's being done to push something. I'm I'm hoping it's not a false flag, but I got this funny feeling, especially as the American embassy knew but didn't tell anyone. And how is Putin and the Russians going to interpret that fact? Yeah, not good at all. Really not good time. So as I said, I'm going to leave that particular situation as I've talked. It's too fluid, too much going on. So I'm going to leave it to. Thank you for bringing this off a situation I hadn't heard. Yeah, it broke about an hour ago. Um, it's a terrible situation. I mean, people are dying. They were at a concert, for God's sake. A bit like they were in Manchester when that terrible thing happened. It's another example where the poor innocents always suffer. When people talk about wars and that, unfortunately, the innocents always do suffer. We are nothing but the pawns in a terrible game of chess, to be fair. It's sad. So, as I said, thought I'd bring it up, but I'm going to leave it as it's too fluid at the moment. Um, just quickly click on there and let's see. Uh, I know they have arrested one of the shooters, so it'd be interesting to see what they do with that gentleman and whether or not he disappears or whether or not he disappears because he's part of. I don't know. The Russian embassy in the UK we mourn have just tweeted. We mourn all those who've been lost in their lives in this despicable terrorist attack at the Crocus City Hall venue in Moscow, which is now ablaze. Um, Curfew has been introduced in Moscow, hardly surprising. I'm just literally reading the updates. Cannon fodder used to be soldiers, these days it's civilians. Sadly, John, you're absolutely right, and that is horrible. That now seems to be the acceptable way to fight a war. You've got people saying, the CIA and Mossad behind the terrorist attacks. Again, we're going to get the things, but there's another film of a guy just walking, carrying an AK-47. Somebody says it's a terrorist walking the streets. It could be it could be a plainclothes copper. So, you can't say anything. But it's very interesting that the Americans knew. Yeah. So we'll leave that sad news as it is. In fact, I'm going to bring these two things up. This has just been tweeted in the last, one's 42 more minutes and the other one's 52 seconds. So remember, this is what I'm getting live. So take it with a pinch of salt, and we're always not sure, but we best get this information up and showing because it is important. Right, the first one is incoming reports of Russian security services looking for a number of men from Ingushetia. I don't know where that is. I haven't even pronounced it right. Suspected today's deadly terror attack in Moscow. And 42 seconds ago, ISIS have claimed responsibility for the terror attacks. But that's ISIS. They have a tendency to try and claim justice for everything. To be fair, but let's get that off. I want to see what Nick Griffin, the racist, has to say. So yeah, so literally up to date. There you go. That's as close as we can get it. ISIS have apparently claimed responsibility for it, and they've already put things out. I'm trying to keep a yeah, they're already amazing how quickly the pictures are coming out. But yeah, ISIS have screamed for it. Yeah, update now as of 23 hours here in the UK is 40 killed and more than 100 wounded. And that's it. There are plenty of videos on Twitter. If you do watch them, can I warn you all that they are quite graphic? So yeah, it's breaking news. It's all over that ISIS are claiming responsibility. Right then, we shall move off from that terrible thing. Although I'll keep an eye on it in case anything does pop up whilst we're on air. Good evening, John. Welcome along, sir. If you've just joined me, mate, I'm just doing a quick overview of the current situation in Moscow. As I said, I'm not going to go into too much detail. I'm also not going to play the videos or anything like that because some of them are horrendous to watch. And also because the situation is just extremely fluid, I'm going to leave it like that. But as I said, the latest update is surprise, surprise. I'm not surprised that ISIS have apparently claimed responsibility. But then again, ISIS have a tendency to claim responsibility for anything that goes on, to be fair. So we will leave the Moscow thing there. I'll keep an eye on it whilst we're doing the stream. If anything important comes up or any more serious updates come up, I'll let you know. But obviously, I'm not going to. I'm going to keep an eye on things and not repeat what's said because it's very fluid. Defo don't play. I won't, John. I've watched a couple of them, and there's no way in hell that I would play that because it's some of them are. Yeah, you don't need to see it. They are. I'm just saying, if you want to watch them, they are, or see them. They are on Twitter. But viewer discretion is heavily. Some of the fan push on Twitter. It's horrendous, mate. I agree. It's just absolutely sickening. Absolutely sickening. It's a Russian with probably Chechen links. ISIS claim responsibility for everything, keeps them in the news. Well, yeah, that's it doesn't. But thanks for letting me know where that is. So it's Chechens. Oh dear. But yeah, you're right. I mean, ISIS do claim Evening Shield War. Welcome on board. Yeah, they do claim. ISIS always claim responsibility for anything that happens because they're no one really now. They can. I mean, all it is at the moment. The latest is ISIS claim responsibility. Someone else keeps showing a video of a guy walking down the street carrying an AK-47 and calling him a terrorist. Remember that they do have undercover police, and standard weapon loadout for them would be a sidearm and an AK-47 or an AK-74. So let's just we'll keep it as that. And I think it's time to shall we move on to something a little less traumatic, because that would probably be the best thing to do. As I said, I will keep an eye on it and update what's going on. So then, let's move on to the next thing, which by pure thing has actually what we've just been talking about in the first two on there now. So this particular gem, shall we say, the new oh, hold on, there's a question before we go any further. Question I've not found the answer to. Why the hell did Obama turn up at number set to understand? I understand you can't speak about it, sensitive upset. Right. No one knows. No one knows why Obama turned up. No one knows why Obama's also paid visits to other European leaders. It hasn't been discussed. No one is aware of what's going on. Take it as you see it. It's a bit concerning. Putin was accused of faking attacks to the blame Chechens in the past. Very true, John. He was. He was very much. This is why I'm very worried of it potentially being a false flag operation, which should concern everybody. But no, Sheila, no one knows why Obama. No one knows why Obama turned up at number 10. It was a weird one, that. And I can't seem to find any information. So clearly, it's one of those things that no one's going to know about until it's too late, no doubt. So, yeah, Nike is not messed with any other nation's flag, correct? Right. Now, I watched, I was on this morning, which is a show here in the UK, TV daytime show, pointless sack of crap, to be fair, but it was on because the wife loves to watch it. And they were talking about this, and they said, oh, it's just a little bit on the back. What are we getting all upset about? What we're getting upset about is that is not the Cross of St. George. That thing there is not the Cross of St. George. That is a bastardisation of England's national flag, and it's not acceptable in any way, shape, or form. I've got some more on this, any case. But what we're going to go here is, I'm just going to quick on. Apparently, the FA has defended St. George's cross design. It's not St. George's. Right, can we get it all out there? That is not St. George's cross. That's not the Cross of St. George. It's some sort of bastardisation sticker kind of thing. That is not the Cross of St. George. Okay? So stop calling it that, because it isn't. The body said it understood the flag means to our fans. Well, clearly fucking not, because you allowed this shit to happen. And it will be prominently displayed at Wembley tomorrow, as it always is. What? Like that? So you're actually going to fly a big version of that bastardisation of our national flag. Really? But of course, no one cares, because it's England and who gives a shit. Nike said his aim was to celebrate the 1960 World Cup team, adding that it was never our intention to offend. Bullshit. You know exactly what you were doing, and I'll prove it in a bit. Both the Prime Minister and Labour leader have criticised the design. In fact, most politicians have. So at least they get something right once in a blue moon. A row over the 2024 home kit, which I'll cover in about the price on Thursday. I mean, just as it comes up there, I mean, let's go on to the England website. Okay. And if you want to buy a home match shirt, it's £124.99. Or in my language, go fuck yourself. I'm not paying that for a football shirt. Now, you can buy the stadium shirt, which is kind of like the shirt. It's not an actual shirt, it's a stadium shirt. And that's £84.99. Again, go fuck yourself. Not paying that for a football shirt. The FA will defend it, both woke reasons and the money they'll get for shirts go 124 cost of living crisis. I read somewhere earlier that the FA CEO passed the use of the flag for the shirt pushed by woke Nike. I don't know. Well, I'm having a look into the article. But there you go. You can see. I mean, the kids' kit is 55 quid, 54.99 for an England top for a kid. Free shipping. That's nice of them. I don't particularly like the away kit. I think it looks like a sack of shit. But there you go. I mean, the prices are ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So, Rishi Sunak says it's a source of pride, a national flag, blah, blah, blah. And they're all coming in and say this, that, and the other. And it says in a statement, it said, we've been a proud partner of the FA since 2012. Just out of curiosity, I don't think personally that England's national shirt should be made by anyone but an English company. We understand the significance and importance of St George's Cross. No, you fucking don't, because you wouldn't have done it. And it was never our intention to offend. Yes, it was. Given what it means to England's fans. You don't give a shit, especially the way that you are actually charging 120. The trim on the cuffs takes its training gear from England's 1966 heroes, with gradients of blue, red topped with purple. Bullshit, it wasn't. Same colour, but also interpretation of the flag on the back of the collar. No, it wasn't. I mean, Bill in company said he found the whole thing utterly hilarious and didn't understand why people are getting upset about the shirt. Because the cross of St George has been bastardised. They wouldn't do it to the American flag. They wouldn't do it to any other countries. In fact, it's the only country that this has been done to. I mean, he said the St George cross only probably appeared in 60s graphic. Yeah, but that's beside the point. Absolutely beside the point. It's got nothing to do with the 1966. And apparently they're not going to get rid of it. They're not recalling it. It's just unbelievable. So, good old Joey Barton, who I've grown to really like, is exactly now. Prices are ridiculous, aren't they? But so are the league shirts. I agree, UK manufacturer should be used. Yep. Football shirts are a fucking rip-off. Okay? As soon as they realise that they could change the shirt every year by changing the colour and changing a slight thing and charge us a shitload of money to wear a football shirt, they started doing that, and it's a joke. I have an England shirt from, I think it's 1992. That's my England shirt. I won't buy a fucking another one. I've got a Birmingham City shirt from, 2 seasons ago. And that was gifted to me, so I didn't buy that one, but I wouldn't buy that one. I used to buy blue shirts, but I don't now because they're too expensive. I don't know and understand how anyone could do that. We are literally in a cost of living crisis. It costs us a fortune just to live, and they think we're going to spend upwards of £100 on a fucking football shirt, or 50 or 60 quid for your favourite league team. No. Go fuck yourselves. No. So Joey Barden's got this exactly right. It's actually the bisexual flag. Bi Pride. So as he says, they know exactly what they're doing at Nike, at FA, and at England. They're trying to stick woke, gay, communist nonsense onto the England national jersey. It'll be to appease all the lesbians who play for the Lionesses in women's football. Nothing playful about it. Another manoeuvre in their attempt to coup d'etat the men's game. Leave our flag and our game alone. And he's absolutely right. Absolutely right. That's the cross of St George there. That is not the cross of St George. It's a bastardisation of the flag. And other people go, no, it's been done before, blah, 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 blah. I don't see why you're getting upset. Yeah. Well, Nike, if you want to do something, you change and put those colours on the United States of America flag. And let's see how much you stand there. We're only doing it here because you know full well that we won't do anything. The way you do this is no one buy a fucking England shirt. Don't buy the New England shirt. Boycott it. Don't buy it. Everybody turn up in their old shirts. Don't give these arseholes any money at all. Not one penny. Unfortunately, sadly, some dickheads will go out and buy this shirt because they've got the latest England shirt. A bit like people who go and continually buy FIFA. Don't get the point of that either. It's the same fucking game. Yeah? Stop wasting your money on pointless shit. You bought an England shirt. You got an England shirt. Go for it. That'll do. You don't need another one. Some people justify the price of Warhammer by look at the giant rip-off equals football shirts out. Yeah, well, it's a joke. Absolute joke. Absolute joke. It really is. I just but of course, oh well, I don't know why you're going for the England flag. Well, let's have a look. I'm going to just bring up see how much. I don't know if it's been announced yet. Have a look how much our Birmingham City shirts are. Let's have a look. I don't know whether they've announced the new kit yet. They probably haven't. Let's have a look at the kit. 23-24. Right, no, we've got the kit at the moment. So how much? I'm just interested in how much it is. Right, there you go. I'll bring it up. I know. Hello, Stickbug VR or my son. How you doing, mate? Welcome to the chat. Why are you on here? So, any case, just to bring it up, here's Birmingham City Football Club shirt. A home jersey is 55 quid. My eldest son is a big Warhammer fan. I'm a huge Warhammer fan. I haven't played it for a long time, but was used to being so into Warhammer 40k. It was unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. It's great. So, why are you bringing Captain Meow in? Hello, there's Captain Meow. Everybody who's interested, there you go. John, you don't just like a bit of 40k and Horus Heresy a little bit, John. You're a master of it. You have so much stuff. So much stuff. It's unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. So there you go. I mean, this is a championship team in the United Kingdom, and it's going to cost you 55 quid for a football shirt. And that's ridiculous. No way. It's also, to be fair, rather shit blue shirt, to be honest. I prefer the penguin one. So yeah, so I just thought I'd bring that up because that made sense. Just to sort of give you an idea. I'm not going to go into Premier League. I would imagine Man United's tops are a lot more expensive. So I think it's time to leave the football shirts alone. Please just leave it alone. They're not going to change it. So if they're not going to change it, the simple solution to the problem is, I know John. When he does, everybody, you got to go and watch it. John's a great bloke, absolutely awesome bloke. Absolutely, he's like my brother. I love him to bits, really do. And when he rings out, it's going to be pumped out on my channel as well to get everybody to watch that because John, awesome. John used to, if I remember, work for Games Workshop, so he knows what he's talking about. I think if I remember quite right, last chat we were having, you'd even look at doing your own rules. Awesome, mate. Absolutely awesome. Right then, so let's jump on to the next thing. I did mention earlier, good old our own country-hating, race-baiting, nasty little bitch Narinda Kaur, or Kerr, or whatever her name is. And now she went terrible news that the princess has got cancer. I just told her, I've just put up a load of pictures. I was one of the top people 20 years ago. There you go. Man, he's a legend. He knows what he's talking about. Seriously. And when the weather gets better, I'm going to pop up and see John because I have a Space Marine medic awaiting me. So I look forward to getting that. As soon as the weather gets better, I'll be up there, John. We're going to spend a day together and maybe even have a quick game of Warhammer. As long as you let me play Space Marines. So, in any case, good old Narinda Kaur. So, as I said, she was all sad and upset about the Kate having cancer. And then I just give her a load of her old tweets back where she was jumping in on the thing. And I'll just sit down and shut the fuck up because people like that piss me off. Currently rewriting the 3rd, 4th, and 5th edition 40k into a new fan edition. Yeah, it should be because the latest edition of Warhammer 40k rules, man, suck. Absolutely suck. So, somebody tweeted the other one being the St George's flag representative. This was all about the football shirts. Britain, also the British that are banned. The banned slavery. It was British sailors who lost their lives policing the seas, and yeah, we're all racist, etc. At least we didn't medically castrate our slaves. Have a nice weekend." And she went, "The British didn't end slavery." I mean, not only is she a racist, country-hating little bint, she also doesn't know history. They just changed it to indentured labour, for your information, another form of slavery. No, 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 no. The British actually spent a hell of a load of our gross national domestic product to prevent and stop slavery. So, I mean, why this bint gets any airtime? But then again, so does that what you Shoulder Dr. Shoulder they just keep putting racists on the telly, and I don't get it because it's sort of unnecessary. But so I just thought add Narinda's little comment into that because she's not the brightest spark. I mean, let's not let facts get in the way of your comments. My God, Twitter's going mental at the moment, but it's fine. I'll ignore that because I'm concentrating on what we're doing because I've still got quite a bit to talk about. So we've covered Narinda. We've covered Princess Kate. We've covered the ongoing situation in Moscow, although I will give you an update on that before I bring it to an end. So, armed trans kids. I'm going to bring this one up to sort of mention. Right then. So, a non-binary teen fatally shot his mother and injured his stepfather after getting hold of a gun. Carly went by the she, they pronouns. It was a bloke. Yeah. And he actually, Carly, it's not Carly. And she shot her mother and injured her stepfather. And so this is clearly as somebody quite rightly put here, it's another case of trans terrorism. And when you get, people holding up signs like that, the imports want to twist our histories to suit them. It's all blackwashing. Correct, Shield Wool knows them. I know that this one is a female. Jesus, you know what? I lose track. So it is a female. So it's a non-binary. Right. You know why? It's because I got another one who was. I do apologise. Thanks, John, for correcting me. Necessarily. Non-binary isn't trans. Well, this is true. Not necessarily. This is true. Apparently, she had a list about testosterone and was looking into medically changing. I don't know. It's very confusing. Biological female and testosterone highly likely. Yeah, I think that's what it was. The only reason I'm saying that is because I had another one here. I'll let the run of it. And this is an 18-year-old transgender pleads guilty to the murder of a 12-year-old girl who they had a sexual relation with. Ash Cooper has pleaded guilty to murdering 12-year-old Morgan Connors in Pennsylvania. Connors was found face down with the pants around her ankles and a gunshot wound to the back of her neck. Cooper was initially charged as Joshua Cooper, but started transitioning after the arrest and now demands to be called Ash. Cooper is now facing 15 to 40 years in the murder for 2022 murder. They actually got 40 years, by the way, just to let you know. And that's why this sign should worry people. Oh my God, it's going made in the USA. Yep. Now, you should all know my points of view on trans. When you're under the age of consent or under the age of 18, this shit should be left alone. As soon as you hit 18, that's fine. And I know people, and if it makes them happy and that's okay, that's fine. And that's their rights if that's what they want to do. Okay. I have no issue with trans people, except those that expect me to transition. Yeah. And take on their version of it. It's completely twisted. It is. The world's gone mad. But as I said, I know a couple of trans people. They're wonderful human beings. Got no problem with them whatsoever. And they're very honest and open people. And they both, they were both men who've transitioned into women. And they say, quite clearly, both, we are still men. And that's fine. And that's absolutely no problem at all. Because that's okay. That's once you hit adulthood, if that's what you want to do, you do it. There's no issue with it. Just don't expect me to have to play along with the game. Bit like pronouns, to be fair. It's a bit like pronouns. I'm not gonna play that game. The hormones must be really doing on these kids. Their transition is criminal. It is, but the thing is, it's wrong, it's evil, and you should never allow children or to have that level of experimentation on them at all while they're young, because you'll get them into a situation that they're confused. I mean, let's come on, we're all kids. Yeah, we all have bits of thing, even now, of our bits of our body that we don't like, but chopping it off doesn't solve the solution. And sometimes people, I think we do have a serious mental health crisis in the world, in the Western world, and sometimes people just need talking to, and kids will be kids. Kids don't know. They take their cues off. They take their cues off their parents and off their educational system. And if they're not getting the right advice, and mummy and daddy want to do it to score virtue points, um, then that's just wrong. I think the whole thing starts in the food chain. John, you may be right there. And you may be right there, not just for that, but remember, look at the rise in all the allergies that we suddenly all have, all young kids all have. And, mm, no problem for adults, I agree, but not our children. It's like the child chatter and chitty chitty bang bang. Spot on. Gender bending chemical hormones, antibiotics, and other drugs. Yeah. The simple truth of the matter is, trans people were fine if they'd stayed where they were. But the second they stepped over and come to our children, that's an issue, and you're going to get a pushback. I have no problem with drag artists. A long time ago, I used to know two. Sup, Gobby? My kids are young Spartan males. I don't see any problem with that. Absolutely, mate. No problem whatsoever. And welcome, sir. Welcome to the stream. There's no problem with that. I mean, I even knew a couple of drag queens a while ago. And the cancer rate spikes. Yes, John. Again, that's the food. But they're fine in an adult situation, but you don't have people like that reading books to school kids. You just don't, okay? So that's wrong. It's work of the evil, to be fair. Going trans on hormone treatment long term is to avoid cancer before 40. Yeah, and look, let's just be honest, it fucks the body up because the human body isn't designed to take that. And I agree, it's something in the food. If you just look back on the sort of 70s and 80s, and look at, or the 70s definitely, look how thin everybody was, and now look at us. So I do agree, mate. There's something in the food. I agree, absolutely agree. That would be good for another chat, wouldn't it? That'd be absolutely awesome. So once you hit 18, you do what you want to do. That's fine. And as long as you do what you want to do, I'm happy for you. I genuinely are. I don't have to play along, but I'm happy for you. And that's how it should be for everybody. Everybody's allowed to do and say, do what they want, become what they want, and believe in what they want to believe. And that's fine. You just shouldn't expect everybody else in the world to have to change their point of view to suit your point of view. Okay. I just want to say, no, I'm not playing your game. Same goes for pronouns. No, I'm not playing your game. If that's what you want to be called, that's fine, but I don't have to play. And that's how it should be. I'm effectively on hormone blockers myself because of my cancer treatment, blocking my hormones, slowing my cancer down by my time. It is indeed, John. And I'm so happy for you that you managed to stay with us for as long as you are staying with us. It's a miracle at times, mate. It really is. And of course, happy news. The info in my treatment makes it very clear long term it's not good, especially heart problems. There you go. Because the human body isn't designed to take that level of chemical abuse. It just isn't. Funny how the FDA is being forced to remove the false information about Vectamine. Yes, because they lied. Because they can't. The reason it was all that bullshit, mate, over that during the coof, was the fact that they only cost £1.99 for a dose to make. They weren't going to make any money out of it. The coof just made a lot of people very, very rich and mentally scarred millions of people on the planet. To buy me time, the tables will flip, and I know, mate. I know. The grift is slowly breaking apart. It is. It is. The truth is slowly coming out about the coof. Defo processed food has a lot to answer for. Also, water treatment. Agreed. Absolutely agreed. Amazing how many people think the same, isn't it? And this is something, guys, another reason why I started doing these streams and started doing the videos that I do. just to show you out there in the wider world, there are thousands, if not millions of us who think the same way about stuff. In fact, we think about a lot of us actually have in fact, well, let's be honest, as humanity, we have a lot more in common than we do against. The enemy of the world feeds on what we don't like about each other because they don't want us to get together. They don't want us to stand together. They don't want us to suddenly realize that actually we're in charge and they're not. And perhaps food processing stuff added into food and water is another way to try and keep us all controlled. They give the same drugs to a 13-year-old to justify the damages, preventing suicide while wrecking their bodies. They feel exactly, John. Nail well and truly hit on the head there, sir. And it's not preventing suicide because in reality, if you look at the statistics, a lot of them commit suicide. I mean, I was watching Fox and the Father, episode 3, and Father Calvin was talking about he was at a religious festival, and there was a woman who was on there who had transitioned and then detransitioned. Only just stopped in the UK. Think of the damage that's been done to thousands of kids flirting with a manufactured social trend. Totally agree. And he was saying that this woman who became a man and then became a woman actually turned around and said the reason that she did transition initially because she didn't fit in with women. And she saw that boys just get along. So she thought that if she turned into a boy, suicide rates are higher post-transition. Absolutely. So she thought that if she changed into a boy, the boys would accept her and she'd be welcomed. But of course, she wasn't. So basically what you had there is an acceptance issue, which is a mental health issue, not a medical issue that requires butchery, of which Joseph Mengele would be proud, and a chemical assault on the child's body. It's not right. It's not acceptable. And all the stuff. For my girls in my day, it was anorexia, then came bulimia, then self-harm, and now this actually the very core of who they are. Well said, Sheila. It's been another attack. It's another engineered attack on us, on our youth. Satan is truly among us. Genuinely he is, and he has plenty of demons who are joining him and forcing some absolute evils upon the world. Absolute evils. Which is why I've decided to find religion again. Because it's quite obvious that if Satan is walking the land and proving that he exists, then if he exists, then God must. I'm not going to get on the all that chat, but yeah, the devil is about. The devil isn't hiding. We're entering the dark times, and we need anything we can to produce light. We really do. Speaking of religion, Gobster, most important news of the week. Gobster, what's your opinion on Iceland? You know what? Guess what I was just about to bring up, sir. Yes, indeed. Iceland have got rid of the hot cross buns, or the cross off the buns, and put a tick on. Iceland is running a trial where they'll sell hot cross buns with a tick instead of a cross alongside the traditional treats that feature a cross. No, it's a hot cross bun. Okay? Therefore, it's a cross, the cross that Christ was crucified on. Yeah? End of. Don't fucking change things just to suit some other people. You're in a Christian country, whether people believe this or not. Yeah? This is a Christian country. So you either like it or you fuck off. Sorry, but that's as simple as that. It does look like the night tick, mate, and that's probably the next thing we'll do is the cross will have a bisexual colour or a rainbow on it. No. Okay? It's a hot cross bun. That's a hot cross bun. Look, see, it's got a cross on. There's a cross on the hot cross bun for a reason. Oh, hello, Mr. Will Guitar. Welcome, sir. Nice to see you. Amazing. Perfect timing, John. Perfect timing. Totally agree, guys. The Bible states that Satan is the prince of this world, and here he is. Well, you've got to answer something along the way, because I've not seen times as dark as these. They put a Nike on a hot cross bun. Yep. There you go, mate. If you want to look, there you go. There's a nice picture of it. There's the bun with the tick on. Not quite, because I'm sure if it was a Nike tick, Nike would probably sue Iceland. What a tick, though. What does a tick even mean? Well, exactly. I'm actually just scrolling through there and see if it actually, because it says here hot cross buns. So religious holiday of Easter. Love hot cross buns, by the way. Just to let you know, Tesco at the moment do a strawberry and cream hot cross bun, and also chocolate and salty caramel. Oh my god, that's a die for. And they've also got crosses on. Hi, PD Rich. Welcome aboard. I'm trying to find out, John, what the tick means. Research wise suggests a fifth of its customers want to ditch the cross and prefer a tick symbol on the sweet treats. And well, if you don't like the cross, don't fucking eat the bun. There you go. Just buy a toasted bun and put it on yourself. Here we go. Iceland's David Lennox said, according to research, it seems some people want the cross design removed and tick instead. Why the fuck a tick? Again, we still haven't done. Result surprises us, but in true British fashion, we'll put it to the test by trialing ticks on some of our buns. But why a tick? Hello, Pass 49. What do you reckon is behind the Moscow attacks? Yeah, I covered that. Oh, to me, mate, smells like a false flag. I'm keeping an eye on it as I'm doing this. I'm thinking false flag, mate. Especially as the Americans apparently knew before, way before, and didn't share the information. They shared it at the embassies, but nowhere else. It looks like a false flag to me. Because to be honest, mate, I think they're trying. It's another attempt to push us to a war that we all know we're going to end up being forced into. So that's my humble opinion. In any case, Paz, nice of you to join. In any case, mate, that's what I think. The more I'm looking at it, the more it's more turning to false flag to me. But as I said, it's a very fluid situation. It's always darkest before the dawn, Gobby. Yeah, the problem is at the moment, PD Rich, the darkest as it goes, this darkness ends in only one way. It's a very bright light, all right, and that's the elimination of most of the population of the Earth. So, the dawn of what, mate? Because it'll be the dawn of. I really am worried. I'll be honest. I am really worried that our Western leaders seem to be absolutely hell bent on pushing us towards the Third World War. And unlike the other two world wars, guys, you push, Russia starts losing. They've only got tactical nuclear warheads left, and then it's game over. Because as soon as those bad boys start going off, everybody lobs them. And that's not good. And I don't see why everybody wants to rush there. It's wrong. It's so wrong. Why? And why some people think, oh, this, that, and the other. I mean, this is the push for conscription and all this sort of thing. Yeah, exactly, John. Right, John. That's right. It's always the darkest before the nuclear flash. Oh yeah, he was completely. Oh yeah, he was completely right. Leah Curse, Richard's Tice is a knob, and we'll talk about reform in a bit before we go. But yeah, so that's what I reckon. In any case, mate, I think it's a false flag. I think it's another step to go. Because let's be honest, they all know now. The West now knows it's fucked up in the Ukraine big time. There you go, real bloke to say something like that. I appreciate it. No, it's you know what I mean. It's they fucked up in the Ukraine. They know they fucked up in the Ukraine. They're in a situation now where they can't get out of it. And I heard on the grapevines. I've obviously not. I'm checking it, but I'm sure some people are already talking about the fact that some NATO troops are going to be sent in. I don't know. Tice is a knob. Tice is just part of the establishment. Reform. I mean, look what they're doing. The candidates they've just pulled out because Hope Not Hate, which is a racist organisation, a vile racist organisation, pulled up tweets from years ago, and they just pulled them out. If Reform is supposed to be this great organisation, our great white, the great hope, and yet when they get a slightest bit of pressure, they buckle. They waste the time. They're no fucking good to no one. They're controlled opposition. We don't need a party. We don't need a political party which is made up of people from other political parties, because it's just not going to work. And, Richard Tice going to the Ukraine, suck my dick. He's an idiot. But the thing is, you can't, if you're going to crumble, if you're going to crumble every time you get a bit of pressure from Hope Not Hate, who are a bunch of arses, then what's the point of you? It just shows you how pointless reform are. They're controlled opposition. Forget it. I mean, I know, Paz. I saw you had a conversation with some people, and you changed your point of view. And I get that. I do. The thing is, I don't know. I really don't know. Yeah, Pazzy's an awesome. If anyone's not sub to Pazzy's channel, go sub. I mean, I know I'm only a tiny little channel saying it, but the thing is, like Paz, he's just. I mean, I love his videos, and the guy's got a great sense of humor as well. Um, it's been a while since I've seen someone get absolutely scared shitless by was it a grouse that jumped out on you when you walked? It scared the shit out of me, to be fair. But no, if you're not, if any of you watching this channel, you're not subscribed to Paz's channel, get over there and subscribe and listen to a bloke with some decent, good common sense. He's got a head on his shoulders and he's a really good lad. Yeah. I mean, I know he's Welsh, but we can't hold everything against everybody, can we? Yeah. I mean, the thing is, I mean, it's like this. I mean, just as we're talking about the military as well. Do you know now it's taking 6 to 8 months once you've passed all the stuff to actually get into the British Army now? And by the time they get there, people are leaving. They've gone on the job. I just don't get it. I really don't get it. It's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Let's get the cross buns off the screen for a moment because the chat's kicked off, and I love it when the chat kicks off. You know, although it's now difficult to keep up, but because I like to engage. The one thing I do like to engage while I can is with the chat. Yeah, because PD Rich has got an old media degree. Although I agree with what you said to me, PD. You did the right thing in not getting involved because it's all get rid of the white guy, isn't it? I don't think Tice is suitable for real paint. No, he's nothing. Yeah, they did pull Bo out for repeating their own policies. Yeah, they did. It's the whole thing is ridiculous. Reform are not any good. It's like GB News. It's like Talk TV. They're all controlled opposition. It's all bullshit. It's all smoke and mirrors. Yeah, they're throwing down a smoke screen. If reform was serious about selection, not showing anywhere, exactly. Runnings and I hope not hate people many years ago. Very insidious bunch. They are. They are everything they claim everybody else is. Quite lacking intelligence, assume. That's something they call us as well. Oh no, I haven't seen the new June yet. To be fair, H&H are frothing. Yeah, they are Marxists. Will spit any bullshit. Exactly. We can't post a link to it as Daniel's not here. It's true. As for Paz, we can let out the Welshness given the wooden spoon results. Well, you know. Oh, right. So John's seen it. June 2, part 2. Channy is defo a problem. Yeah, it's kicking off in the public broadcast, Scobby. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, did you see the video with all those people from Hollywood crying into their glasses because they've got no jobs and they can't get any money? Well, you make shit that no one wants to watch. Who's going to hire you? I'm sorry. I mean, I can't afford my mortgage because they won't make it. Well, this is the bed you made. This is the bed you laid in. It's a tough shit. And just out of curiosity, just for all the Hollywood types and anyone else who's moaning in production, I can't get a job and it's tough. Welcome to the real fucking world. So after you're spending years fucking preaching to us all, yeah, once you've all finished preaching to everybody, yeah, now you're feeling the pain. Welcome to our life. Yeah, welcome to the suck zone. You know, the one that you helped create, knobheads. GB News won't get good again until they're behind a paywall. GB News has shot itself in the foot. I'm sorry, mate. GB News had potential and it's a waste of time. Absolute waste of time. You know, and you got presenters just talking bollocks. Certainly did. WD Pro covered it. Yep. It's just like, I'm sorry, but don't sit there and cry that you ain't got a job because you've made nothing but 4 or 5 years of absolute dog shit on TV and movies. So they gave Channy the anger about, really? Why? I don't know, John. I'll have to watch it and see what I think as well, but it doesn't sound good. You know, it's just you can't cry that the world's full, your life's full apart because you destroyed it yourself. I just don't get it. I really don't. Just don't get it. Mind you, talking to GB News, if you blow a hole in your own proverbial boat, the only way is going down. Exactly. John the White, didn't they? Simple people, I reckon they'll do this. You're talking stuff about June. Yes, crack on. If June chat as well, but that's one. Just talking about GB News, I'm actually going to share one of their articles only because it's the only place I've found that's got this. And this is another one that will get people pissed off. £1 million from a Muslim memorial, and we can't get 80,000 for a Lancaster bomber. It's a World War II landmark that needs funds. The Bomber County Gateway Trust raised £200,000 to build an aviation sculpture through donations, but needs another 80,000 to finish the job. What they've done is they're going to build a life size model of a Lancaster bomber because of the job that it did in World War II. Agreed. David selling Paul at GB News, they were on the downward slope. Correct. When they started sacking their presenters were actually having a point of view that other people agreed with, they were supposed to have set the channel up for. Yeah. Yeah, and it's amazing they'll kick up a fuss and defend themselves against Ofcom, but not when they got rid of other, when they got rid of Calvin and they got rid of, Father Calvin, and they got rid of, what's his name? Fox. Yeah. It's just unbelievable. So these guys want to build a big, huge Lancaster bomber because it should be. It's a set in the Lincolnshire field where the bombers they reached it all, but they only need 80 grand. Yeah, the landmark called on Freedom's Wing. June rant over. No, crack on, mate. You're absolutely spot on. I haven't seen it, but you haven't. Somebody did ask the question. It raised 50 metres above the ground when tilted. The Lancaster's 31 wingspan will make it taller than the Angel on Earth, which is approximately 20 metres high. I mean, the Lancaster was one of those. Well, Dan Wooten's apologised to Dan Depp now. Well, you shouldn't have said it in the first place. If you are completely unsure, don't jump on bandwagons. So yeah, that's what they want to build. Okay. They need 80 grand, but of course we can't give 80 grand, but we could give them £1 million to a memorial, which they already have for the cenotaph. I don't know. John Wooten's win against the Guardian is encouraging for Noel Clarke's upcoming case. Yes, absolutely. And if you don't know, both me and John have done plenty of. John did an absolutely cracking article when Noel Clarke got accused, lied about, actually, to be fair, by the Guardian and certain people who we know who they are and TikTok. And we've highlighted how the Guardian made it all up, and Noel will hopefully be cleaning his stand this year. I hope he does. They booted off Mark Stein first. That was the beginning of the end. Yeah, as soon as Mark went, you knew there was a problem. As soon as they got rid of Mark Stein, you knew there was a problem in that channel. Absolutely. It's unbelievable. But they're controlled media. Yeah, I hope Noel will be clearing his name. He should do, because it's just been absolutely disgraceful the way he's been treated. And of course, everybody went on about Dan Wooten, which was right. He shouldn't have got treated the way he did. Oh, thank God for Jack Daniels. But he got cleared. Noel's had his entire life done on nothing. Got plenty of previous streams that me and John have done and talking about the incident of Noel Clarke. There's a playlist on my channel about anything to do with Noel Clarke. So please pop on and watch those if you want to catch up with what's going on. Don't jump on the bandwagon unless you're the BBC, and then all you do is jump on them. Absolutely. Doing quite a lot on this. I've covered quite a bit so far. I must remember I got to clear them off as I go, because otherwise I forget. I've done the hot cross buns. Also, we've talked about the football shirts. Just while we're going along, I'll just bring this up as we all discuss about the 2-tier justice system and the 2-tier policing system. So let's bring this up, where a sexual deviant who exposed himself while cycling also has sickening images of children on his phone. Serial flasher Amar Chowdhury exposed himself to women and girls and a dozen indecent images of children on his phone. And basically, he got let off um, even though he's like a multiple offender. Um, Michael Manson, prosecutor, said Cherry was arrested on the 4th of March 2021 for exposure and was interviewed by police. He indicated there would be indecent images of children on his phone engaged in lewd acts. Apparently, he did it out of the curiosity, and yeah, that was good enough. And you can walk free, sir. No, I mean, I shit you not. I mean, his phone had 311 files in indecent images of children, and 31 of them were on the child abuse database. There were 41 images, including duplicates in the most serious category A, which are disgusting, and 42 videos in that category. Prohibited images showing indecent cartoons and similar images found on his laptop or computer. He went, no comment. There's no evidence of distribution. So, I mean, he's had convictions of four previous offences, but, it's fine. He could just go for a wander. I mean, he rode his bicycle towards vulnerable women and young girls while exposing himself. The guy cycles along with his knob hanging out, and that's fine. He pursued a 16-year-old girl and smiled at her as he exposed himself. Rules for thee and not for me. Yeah, but the thing is, this guy, yeah, charges his offences why by the judges. Troubling course of sexual and deviant behaviour came to halt when an off-duty policeman in Hall Road, Hessel, spotted him in his rearview mirror what Chody was doing and young children nearby. He was arrested. Chody was given an 8-week suspended prison sentence. Previous sexual harm prevention order will continue, even though he's had one and he made no fucking difference whatsoever. Mr. Gobster, came to ask you how you're keeping this week. I know there have been some rougher times. You sound well. I'm so glad to. Yeah, I am. The good thing is the kids are broken up. It's Easter. We're going away next week, just Monday to Friday, just nipping down to Cheddar, spending a few days there in a nice little caravan, the four of us, having a bit of a chill out, going a nice hot tub, going to go see Wookie Hole, recording a couple of videos, which will be hopefully on a brand new channel that I will be launching. Yeah, another one. That'll be 3. But yeah, so that was totally lost. Yeah. So yeah, I'm fine. I hope you're all okay. Everybody out there, once again, thank you, you wonderful mother truckers, you for being in the chat. It's always great fun, and I love it when my chat's alive, and I do try. He's praying to Allah all the time. That's why he got off. Yeah, probably. But I mean, how does he get off? He's been a registered sex offender for 7 years. Yeah, he's done 4 other offences, and yeah. Mitigates it. The offence was serious, but Sydney went, "Oh, by the way, there's dirty images of kids on my phone." Oh, that's okay. Then we'll let you off. Who's that charger guy in the photo? Looks like the guy from the Nationwide adverts. Hey, you're right. He does, doesn't he? God, yeah. So now we know. It isn't him, is it? No, it's not. And I hope not. No, I don't think it is. But he does look very uncannily like the guy. Frustrating. It's just unbelievable. I didn't realise that. Thanks for that. He does. He really does. So, what we got left to look at? Yes, so you're able to erase the board sheets there. Still with the military. Was that Gloucester? Gloucester, I think. Yeah, it's Gloucester. And I wouldn't do that. I mean, no offence. I do stupid things, but running down this very, very steep hill, chasing a block of cheese is just mad. But defend it because it's traditional English shit. So we're going to defend that to the hilt. Yes, it's dangerous. Yes, it looks ridiculous, but it's tradition, and we're never going to let that die. Might be the only thing that'll be left to do: run down chasing cheese down a hill. So let's just a quick one. Just going to pop this up here to add, another story, and then I've got 2 more to go, and then we'll do a quick check on the situation in Moscow before we bring it to a close, as we've been going for 1 hour 15 minutes. It didn't feel like that. So, Jewish boy's family asked if it's 1940 again, as they claim 9-year-old was ordered off a hospital bed and made to sit on the floor by nurses wearing pro-Palestine badges. Right then. Okay, it's in the paper. I will try and take this with a bit of pinch of salt, but I'm only reporting what the Daily Mail has reported, which was from yesterday. So I've only just found this out. Claims that a Jewish boy was mistreated by NHS Children's Hospital by nurses wearing pro-Palestine badges in order to get off bed, sit on the floor, being investigated rapidly by Trust chiefs said today. So there might be something in it if they're investigating. According to the family, the 9-year-old who's wearing his, is it kippah? Kippah? If I've said that wrong, I do apologise to my Jewish viewers. Skull cap was kicked out of his bay at the Royal Manchester Children's Hospital, was being treated. Yes, it is. It's the chasing the cheese down the hill is just so English. Just mental. So he had to lie on the floor, apparently. So I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it's all on there. It's going to check. So the Daily Fail, absolutely. But apparently it's been investigated. They're gathering the facts. I'm hoping this isn't true. I really do hope that this isn't true. Because if it is, it's disgraceful. It's disgusting. And it shows you how fucked up we are right now in the world. Genuinely does. This isn't acceptable in any way, shape, or form. Keeper, spelt keeper. Thank you, PD Rich. Thanks for correcting me. I didn't want to upset the rabbi. I wouldn't want to do that. And there is, believe it or not, a reason why I brought that particular article up, because it feeds into another thing that I want to talk about. And we're now going to move. Oh, hold on. We got another comment. It's all over X earlier regarding to the nurses. If it is true, one of my ex-girlfriends, she was half Swiss. Ah, nice. Bringing the whole world to work in the NHS brings the whole world to prejudice. Sadly, it does. It shouldn't, because speaking as an ex-medic, well, you're never an ex-medic, but speaking as a medic, you're supposed to treat anyone irrelevant to who they are and where they were and what they were doing 2 seconds ago. Yeah, plenty of times I was getting, 7.62 millimeter or 7.65 millimeter rounds coming this way. It's all right, buddy. I'll hang around with the rabbi. I know you do, PD. That's why I thought you could let me know. Yeah. And then I'd throw my 5.56 response, and then I'd be patching him up 30 seconds later when the conflict ended. So as a medic, you shouldn't judge anyone. You should treat everybody, irrespective of whether they're your friend or your enemy. And if that's true, they don't deserve to be called medics, and they should be fucking got rid of. They're a disgrace to the profession, and they're a disgrace to the Hippocratic Oath. They're a disgrace to everybody. Really pisses me off when people do that. Her mother died in childbirth. Oh, it's a shame. It's sad, isn't it, John? Her mother died in childbirth in the UK, and they could have saved her, but they thought she was German. Prejudices. That was back in 1964, and there was still a lot of hate for the Germans back then, which is understandable, but not acceptable. Absolutely not acceptable. You're a medic. You save anyone and everyone, irrespective. I mean, as I said, people know my feelings on transgenders and that everything else. But the simple truth of the matter is, if one was injured, I'd help them, because that's what medics do. That's your job. So that was coming on to something else, and it's time to. They didn't the Daily Fail similar article about squaddies not being treated by Muslim nurses years ago? I think they did. I don't know. I don't see. The thing is, and that's why I'm hoping it's not true, because if it is, they're not medics. I must say, during the pandemic, I didn't think some of them nurses felt free to judge people who didn't accept a certain procedure. Correct. Again, doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter. If you're a genuine medic, you're in that job to help people, to save people, to patch people up. It doesn't say anywhere in what you're doing that you can judge and decide who can live, who can die, who can do what, who can do, depending on their religion or whatever. It doesn't say that. You are to save people. That's it. That's your job. End of. Anything else, you shouldn't be fucking doing the job. It's as simple as that. Same would treat alcoholics, go back out and drink again, etc. This is what the profession does. Exactly. It's a fashionable thing, but this was so disrespectful. It's true. So, exactly, got to be Hippocratic Oath. Exactly. It's irrelevant. If I ever jumped out the back of the ambulance and around the corner, it was irrelevant who was lying on the floor. It was irrelevant who was injured. It didn't matter. There was somebody who needed saving. End of. Game over. That's it. Simple. There isn't anything to discuss. There really isn't. It really pisses me off when people go, "Oh, it's my fuck you." If you have any other thing other than wanting to save or treat a patient, a person that is in front of you that is in pain and is in critical need of aid, and you want to bring your own personal viewpoint and politics into it, get the fuck out of that job. You don't belong in it. Simple as, end of. Disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. As someone I've seen sending me cultural interpretations of events. So you're right to take things with a pinch of salt. Everything. One thing you learn that when you start talking about things, you start reporting on things, it's always best to take literally everything with a pinch of salt because it can change, as the incidents, as we found out with Princess Kate. Yeah, never believe everything you see. Yeah, always treat it with suspicion. Always check. Don't take my word for all of this stuff. Go look yourself. If there's one thing I'd like to have is a bunch of critical thinkers. Don't take my word for it. Don't take another YouTuber's word for it. Go and look. I'll bring this to your attention. Yeah, you go for it. Hello. Yeah, nice to meet you, Dan. How you doing? Yeah, I've been live a fair few times now, mate. I'm getting quite comfortable at doing it now, to be fair. It should be the only vocation only save lives. That is it. That's it. Yeah, it save lives. That's what you do as a medic. It's not easy. Yeah, simple. Thanks, mate. Thanks for joining me. Any case, Dan. It's nice to see you. But it's come on, Jesus. So, as I said, I brought the old the Jewish boy thing on for a reason. It's time to go back to doing a bit of Doctor Who. Princess Kate, is it the end of the digital photo saga? I don't know whether you know, Will. She's come out and did a statement. She's very much alive, but she's also been diagnosed with cancer. That's why she was keeping it quiet. So, why do you think the Google that have? Why do you think she Googled? Probably because if she'd, as she's mentioned, was having chemotherapy, perhaps she needed a photo and she just felt like shit. And perhaps now that she's explained that she's got cancer and she's on chemotherapy, and that was the reason why they were keeping it private, everybody else should now just sit down and shut the fuck up. Leave them alone. Thanks, mate. So nice that you watch. I always watch I watch yours as well, mate, as always. Problem is I have such a list of things to watch. But then again, there's fuck all on the telly, so it's a lot easier. It's nice I've got like a selection of people that I have to watch. And that's good. It's like people's shows, their live streams have become my new TV guide. And I like that. I prefer that because I'm listening to good stuff. Exactly, Gobby, been through it myself. Yeah, mate. You know what I mean? It's just like we live in a world, and the great Denzel Washington said it true. So right, a fair few years ago. It's all about being first. Doesn't matter whether it's true. Doesn't matter whether you've checked the facts. Doesn't matter who you hurt in the process. As long as you're first. As long as you can get your thing out first. And that's the biggest problem that we have. I see things pop up on YouTube, I see them pop up on Twitter and everywhere else where I get all my news sources from. And I don't jump on and go, blah, 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 straight away. I check. Okay. Which is why when I was talking about Moscow, which I will bring it to an end by checking on that. I've said what I'm saying, but I'm not saying too much because it's a fluid situation. Somebody asked me a question. Paz asked me a question. What do I think? I think it's a false flag operation, but more will come home. I knew there was something odd about the cyclists and hatchet pedestrians. The thing around my mates with Vine. Yeah, possibly, mate. And welcome, Aiden. Nice of you to see you. And don't forget, Jeremy Vine wants Twitter cancelled now because if China can do it, so should we. Because what Jeremy Vine has realised is him going on Twitter and running his mouth off and acting like a complete dick on a bicycle. What was Joe Barton called him? Although I'm not saying this because I might end up getting sued. And I also might break the hate crime in Scotland. He's a bike nonce. And he doesn't like the fact that people are pulling him out now. So now he wants Twitter shut down. He wants Twitter shut down because it doesn't suit him. So, I mean, Jeremy Vine's a complete prick. No one likes him. He's a knobhead. He gets what he deserves. Yes, leave the lady alone. It isn't like she's trying to continually court the press, etc. She's been reserved. They had kids. And she went for a routine operation. She found out she got cancer. She had to go on chemotherapy and she had to break it to the three children. And she didn't need the media doing it for her. And then I do believe that when there was a data breach at the clinic where she was treated, that forced her to have to make this. What a fucked up shit world that we live in, where we can't just leave people alone. We have to sit and create an environment where we think somebody's dead and something's happened to somebody, and we start taking things. Oh, this picture's being photoshopped. That picture's being photoshopped. No offense, mate. Get them out, yeah? Get your photos out, the modern one days. See how many of you fucking change around just to suit yourself. Stop it now. Stop it. End of. Okay? Now you know. Leave it. I felt like a fighter pilot had just been a missile and had to take a bailout. Yeah, PD Rich, it knocked you for 6. Yes, I often thought the BBC could restore its reputation wise, but it didn't complete so breaking. Imagine the impartial, factual organisation that just took its time to report. That's what it used to do. Now it's not. It's all about being first. Well, it's all about being first. It doesn't matter. Amar is, I've got rid of it now. He was a guy who's just been released. Will he went to court for sexually exposing himself, having child porn pictures on his phone, but because he admitted it as soon as he got arrested, he was let off. And basically, he's already on the sex offenders list and he's a bit of a pervert, but that's fine. Absolutely fine. Go back if you want to, Will. Go back through. It'll be in the stream. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, on Cancer Jeremy's account. Well, yeah. Yeah. Remember, Princess Kate is truly disgusting. It is absolutely disgusting. And as I said earlier, when I did the thing right at the beginning, yeah, I'm going to sit here now and wait for all the knobheads who said she was dead and all that bullshit they made up to apologise. I want to see apology videos. I want to see apology tweets. I want every single media organisation that jumped on this bullshit, said horrendous things, made stuff up, fed the hysteria to apologise and hang your fucking heads in shame. You're disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. People in the Catholic today were gossiping about William and his so-called affair. That's what people can discuss. But that's because it's fed by the media. Proper people who report proper things, like I do. Yeah, I'm not sure. I always say, take this with a pinch of salt. Other than that, I check. I double check, I triple check, I quadruple check before I actually say anything. That's what journalists are supposed to do. It doesn't matter if I'm not first. It's all about getting the facts right and reporting facts to people. I'll report the things how I see them and the facts that I've uncovered, and that's for you lot to go and make your decisions to think about. That's what's important. So, as I said, let's get on to Doctor Who and the reason there was a Jewish thing on there. And let's get to my favourite YouTuber of Doctor Who in his last one of his videos put me up there with Gary from Nerd Erotic and Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, sorry, and esteemed colleagues like that because I'm a far right hate guy or whatever. Yeah, because I called him out on being a knobhead. So, ladies and gentlemen, can I give you Mr. Tardis? This guy here, one of the most racist, nasty pieces of work ever. Before I go any further, it's Kate's kitty. I feel sorry. It's their mum. Exactly. Yeah, I thought their highness had some complicated operation and then she was resting up. So I decided to leave her the fuck alone. I decided and said, wait until she said she was coming out after Easter. But no, we have to create bullshit, don't we? Because we've got fuck all else better to do with our so pathetic little lives. Anyway, so Mr. Tardis and whoever this knobhead is, moaning because Stephen Moffat and Russell T Davies are still friends with Tracy Oberman, who's a Jew. And that's horrible. And that's disgusting. And they shouldn't be friends with a Jew. But I'm not racist in any way, shape, or form. I'm not anti-Semitic or anything like that. So, yeah, we got another jumped up knobhead, Mr. Tardis. He'll probably make another video. He's made a couple about me. I couldn't give a shit either way because he's a knob. Has decided to come out and basically say, look at me. I'm anti-Semitic. So I'm sure I'll just wait for people to fill me in on the reply video to this. Although he probably won't have got this far through the video, although I might turn it into a short and put it on YouTube that way, just so he knows I'm talking about the little self-righteous knobhead. People like this make me sick. So what if they're friends with an actress? Doesn't matter about a fucking race or a religion or a sexual orientation or anything else, does it? Does it, Mr. Tardis? As you would say. So what's the problem? Is it because she's Jewish? Knobhead. I hate that bloke. So self-righteous. And the two of them there are discussing the fact they shouldn't be friends with a Jewish person. Get back in your box, Mr. Tardis, and sit the fuck down. Can't stand you. And you've just shown the world your true colours again. So congratulations. And we've all got that now. So we could just throw that back in your face if you want evidence. This is why I intervened and asked why Obama was here. They were shocked to see him across about him being here. Of course. Obama's here and he's here for a reason. Me personally, perhaps we're due another virus, or perhaps we're just ramping up for World War III, because Obama is the one who pulls Biden's strings, and there's no mistake there. You don't mean, as Bolshevik pulls in, Mr. Beardy Wokey Pants Piss Baby Reviews? Yeah, yep, that knobhead, that raging knobhead, who's just proven that he is an anti-Semite. In simple as, I mean. Also, the thing is, what always cracks me up with like these people, like Mr. Tardis and or Mr. Beady Woke Pants Piss Baby Reviews, as Bolstrick, great bloke, Chris, has said, is the fact that I sit there and I look at these tweets and I think, who the fuck do you think you are? Well, who gave you the moral purpose to dictate to people who are famous and could give a shit whether you breathe or not? Yeah, famous people who'd not even notice you, no matter how hard you suck them off. Yeah, no matter how hard you try. What gives you the right to dictate who they can be friends with? Russell T Davies, you're still friends with Noel Clarke. Just for instance. They can be friends with whoever they want to, and they're not going to take the advice of two little twitwanks sitting on Twitter, or sorry, X, nothing else better to do than pretend there's something important. Well, most of us are friends with a very Jewy person. Oh, yes. I mean, a rabbi, no doubt, no less, whose children are currently fighting in a war. Yeah. Ooh, she's Zionist. So what's wrong with Israel's right to exist then? Don't be fooled by these people. They are the pits. They're disgusting. And they always show their true colours. Because when I called him out in a video, and he wasn't really calling out, I just basically asked him to stop being a complete raving knobhead. And he was like, oh, you got no proof. Well, just put your proof up there. And with Sophia Miles, yeah, he was vile to Sophia. Absolutely vile. And the thing is, Sophia Miles is a wonderful human being. I've had the privilege, the general privilege. Yeah, RTD still friends with Sophia Miles as well. You're going to mind about that? I mean, I've had the privilege of speaking to Sophia. She did an interview when I used to do Doctor Who stuff on my channel. And I don't get the mentality. Who the hell do they think these people are? Grown-ups don't ditch friends because some knobhead has an issue with what they're like on social media. Exactly. And both me and John have experienced people lobbing us under the bus because of what other people have said that we are. It's ridiculous. If you're that shallow, then you're not worth the time of day. Mr. Tardis is not worth scraping the shite off the bottom of my shoe for, to be fair. But I just thought, because of the last video where he said, oh, I'm ranting about him, I've got no proof, this, that, and the other. There's your proof. You're an anti-Semite. Pure and simple. Totally proven, 100%. To go back in your box, sit down and shut up. Sophia was a very manifestation of grace and understanding and kindness. Absolutely, 100%. If you have nothing but the time to judge somebody by what you think they are and how you see them on a screen and perceive them as that, then you're an idiot. A massive idiot. I mean, Sophia is she's just a wonderful human being. Absolute wonderful human being. And I just don't get it. So You know, I just don't go. These people can't tell the difference between Palestine and Gaza. No, because they think it's one and the same. Because TV hasn't told us to think about that. My leftist friend has not told me the difference. They are one and the same thing. Idiots. Everybody else Shinder thinks Rabbi is part of Mossad. I did see that. Really? Okay. God, the madness. I didn't really dig this Doctor iteration, but I was an adult then, so perhaps I'm happy he's been brought back. I did love Matt Smith and Capaldi. They got me all back into it. Yeah. That was back in the days when Doctor Who was decent. And in fact, talking of that, they've launched the new trailer. I'm going to leave it in the background, but I'm not going to play audio because, you know, as the audio kicks in and frightens the life out of him. But the trailer's dropped. I'm going to leave it playing on the background. We're talking. I mean, Doctor Who's dead. He died ages ago after Peter Capaldi. And even his last season, we got super woke. I mean, this is super Disney, super pointless. And I'm glad I'm not going to watch this steaming pile of shite. And also the fact that a 900-year-old alien calls a young teenage girl babes. Yeah. Rabbi and Mossad. I know. Can you just believe it? The Rabbi. Rabbi from Another Planet, if you've not seen, another great YouTuber to go and see. Absolutely awesome. But this just looks like an absolute steaming pile of junk. Obviously, you know, the BBC iPlayer on the 11th of May, 10th of May, everywhere else in the world. But the place that created it and made it, you got to wait till midnight. It's just, yeah, it's just, look at it. It's just crap. Absolute crap. I'm glad I walked away from it, although I will talk about it now and again. Well, that was Jinx Monsoon, apparently. Oh, I just don't care. John Watt Rabbit said they don't pay enough. So there we go. That's the trailer. Honestly, I'm not playing the thing, and it's on Doctor Who. I'm going to stop it now because no, let's just not watch that anymore. That's just evil. So we've pretty much coming to the end now of this absolutely fantastic stream. Thanks to you awesome, wonderful mother truckers in the chat. I'm now going to go and have a quick look at the update on Moscow. Right then, some reporting that you don't see Ukrainians celebrating Moscow shootings. I follow some pretty outspoken accounts. Most of it just see a harbinger of more mobilization on the Russian side, which is a bad thing. Yeah, that explains. A couple more. The videos are still running, which I'm not going. The trailer does nothing, mate. It just says Disney. It just says Disney. I'm not even interested in it. It's just not worth it. So I said I'm just quickly looking through, seeing if there's anything up to date. No, nothing changed. I think sabotaging Millie's character was a big part to do with it. Why investing in already scrapped? We all know. I'll be honest. If you didn't know, I'm fully convinced that Disney caused her to get rid of. Alien Romulus sizzle trailer was better. It flipping well was 100%. I'll tell you what else was absolutely awesome. The new Beetlejuice movie, the sequel, that looks fucking awesome. So they are perhaps going to make the odd decent film. I mean, having the original casting, it's got the original model from the film. Oh, it looks Michael Keaton's. Oh, it looked awesome. If you're not seeing the trailer, go and see the trailer. It's wicked. Christmas also landed flat on me with the language of the rope. Fuck off, Disney. It's just a joke. Doctor Who's dead. It's a shame. I mean, me and John, as you know, as some of you may know, there's a playlist called Why We Love Doctor Who, and we talked about it every episode. So there's a love of Doctor Who, but not anymore. It's just dead. It's just, and there'll be them crying soon that why haven't we got a job and we can't afford to pay the mortgage? Well, it's because you make stinging piles of shite. That's why. Let's have a look. There's trending at the moment. Yeah, I'm still live, son. Thanks for popping into the chat earlier. Oh, you were bored. Thanks. It'll be good to be a well-directed haunted house movie, so at least I don't want to be plot spoiled too. Exactly. I'm selling by anything to do with Alien Romulus because I think it might actually be good. It might be. Comes out in August. It had a pro pulse rifle in it. It was satisfying. Yeah, I agree, mate. It was a great one. So, just trending at the moment on Twitter is Scum Media. Everybody banging on about Princess. Funny enough, Caroline Flack is trending again. Why, I don't know. Unless, of course, it's just the. Meanwhile, I got a full turn invasion here on here, 5,000 points each. No. So, as we bring this one to a close, there is one joyful thing that I can report, which I think is a great. You should do a Hammer horror films, Gobster. They were amazing. They were classic British films, awesome films. I'm thinking of doing some stuff like that. I am entertaining the possibility of doing some film reviews and that, but not necessarily on this channel. Maybe plans are afoot. Plans are afoot. So, as I'm going to bring it to a close, we have to finish with some good news and something, where I started with wishing Princess Kate that she gets well soon and, her family will be in my prayers. There's something else that we need to celebrate today. And it is with wonderful happiness. I'd like to wish William Shatner a happy 93rd birthday. This is his tweet he put today. I'm overwhelmed with emotions. All the wonderful messages I received today from far corners of the world. Thank you all for your outpouring of love. So, Captain Kirk has reached the age of 93. 93 years old. And I think that's a brilliant sort of thing. And something nice. He's still going. In fact, is he the only one left? George Takei. Yeah, well, he's a left wing idiot. But there's just the two of them, isn't there? Of the original bridge crew left. So, 110 guns, 60 Homicons, 40 Gene Stealers, 24 Warriors, Hive Tyrants, Conflicts, and an Alien Queen stuff. Jesus Christ, man, that's a vicious Tyrannid army. Yeah, Captain Bill, 93 years old today. Absolutely, chuff the guy's still going, he's still working. Congrats to Bill Shatner, wonderful man, never sold out, never has done, never will do. He is who he is. He's a lot of people can take a lot of things from Williams Drive. Chekhov is still alive. Oh God, of course he is. Shit, there's me. Jesus, do apologise. I've had some Jack Daniels. I've been chatting for 1 hour 44 minutes. I do apologise. I'm ever so sorry. Ever so sorry. Have a great birthday, William. I remember the originals on TV when I was a youngster. Just before we go anywhere, and I know this is probably going to cause no end of hoo-ha. There is only one captain of the Enterprise, and that's Captain Kirk. And that's Will Shatner's Captain Kirk, not the made-up shit in anywhere else, or the films with the new films. There is only one original Kirk. There is only one original captain of the Enterprise. And I know that's going to piss a lot of people off. But I don't care. He's my Kirk. And, now grab the popcorn and let the shit hit the fan. But I do apologise. Yeah, Walter Koenig is there. Captain Bill's still slagging off Modern Trek. I just love the guy. I love him on Weird or What as well. Yeah. I mean, he's been on loads of stuff. The guy has not stopped working. I was just about to say, we can take a lot from Bill's drive and passion and determination. He's 93. He's still going. He's still working. He's just a great, great guy. A great, great guy. And yes, he absolutely rips the shit out of New Trek, and rightly so. Talking of new stuff, Star Wars Acolyte. Yeah, I'm going to do that in a different video. That is just, oh my God. Oh, Picard was lucky to get some Redemption Series 3. Pat Stew nearly wrecked his legacy and never let actor make script decisions. True, John. Picard season 3 was pretty good. I won't lie. I mean, yes, it was full of memories, but I enjoyed it. I like Cisco, but Captain Bill, the captain, yeah. Beam us up, Gobster, absolutely. And let's be honest, if it wasn't for Bill Shatner's performance as Kirk, Star Trek would have never got anywhere, to be fair. Cisco is an epic captain of the Defiant. Indeed, he's not the captain. Cisco is. I didn't say. I won't diss Cisco, but he wasn't the captain of the Enterprise. Yeah. Oh, Kakashite. Janeway gave me a headache, to be honest. Janeway was, I mean, Voyager was a good series. I quite like Voyager, but you know, you know what? It is what it is. I mean, that was the first female captain in a Star Trek thing. So they haven't had in the original, and Cisco was the first black. So you know they haven't got nothing. Captain Archer would be fun to serve with. But he doesn't have the nacelles to match up to Kirk. Correct. Although I did think Enterprise was sadly cut short when it was just getting going. It was. I loved the series. Enterprise was great. Scott Baluka was just brilliant as Captain Archer. It was a good series, but again, you're right. He doesn't have the nacelles to match up to Kirk at all. Let's bring that one. Let's get rid of that. So there we go. So it is time to bring this parlay to a close. There may be another one tomorrow. I'm not 100% certain. There may be, depending on what's going on and whether, you know, what information I can get out and what's important and see how things pop up. And then that will be the last parlay, if I have one tomorrow, until next weekend. As I said, I'm away for a week. Season 4, when they got serious about actually making Star Trek correct, started to get really good then. It really did. Proper getting to good proper Trek then. I've got the whole series on DVD. I'll have to watch it again. Enterprise very untrekky first 2 years. Yeah, he was finding its feet, wasn't it? Oh yeah, I did warn them over Star Wars. We did. We warned them and they didn't want to listen. I mean, you know, a TV show made by Harvey Weinstein's former PR woman who didn't see anything or know anything. Yeah, who thinks what was it? She said it's going to be a mix between Frozen. Was it Frozen and what? I can't remember. She did say Frozen and something else. Oh, Kill Bill. Yeah. Bollocks. It didn't warm up, but yeah, let's try. A lot of the gratuitous get application. They'll get a little. Oh, please. Right then. So I'm going to bring it to a close. As I said, may do one tomorrow. I'm hoping to do just a quick one maybe tomorrow. There will be some videos coming up on the channel over the days I'm away. I've got some pre-recorded stuff that I will get done and put out, and it will come out while I'm away. Frozen and Kill Bill. I know. Jesus Christ. If that doesn't inspire you to not watch it. Oh, and the fact that there's it's all DEI, isn't it? And the Force is female and shit. Yeah, that's the one. So yeah, so there will be some videos coming out while I'm away. Pre-recorded stuff from a while back, last week or so, which I've not got around to doing yet, so I'm going to get done. And hopefully get the last Parlay 5 done, and so I can go away. Thanks so much. Thank you, John, for saying it's a great stream, Lovey. Thank you for you wonderful people, your wonderful mother truckers, who've been in the chat. You've been awesome, as always. It's been fantastic. Thanks so much for watching. And with that, I am finished. So I guess it's time to, well, see you in the next one.
Another time, another place, another